Ladies and gentlemen, in a world full of noise, where voices clash and opinions are shouted from every corner, we often forget that the most powerful words are the ones spoken in silence. We talk because we need to be heard, but what if instead of filling every moment with words, we learned the true power of speaking through our actions and our presence? It's easy to talk. We talk to express our thoughts, our frustrations, our desires. But sometimes in the midst of all the talking, we forget to listen, to truly listen to the silence between the words, the spaces where the real conversations happen. What if we took a moment to reflect on the things we don't say, the things we choose to keep within us, but that speak volumes to the world? Talking less doesn't mean being quiet or passive. It means finding power in the spaces between words. It means speaking with intention, speaking with clarity. It means speaking when your words can uplift, when they can heal, when they can create change. And sometimes it means choosing to remain silent, not because you have nothing to say, but because you understand that not every battle needs to be fought with words. When we talk less, we create space for others to speak, to share their truths, to express themselves without the fear of being overshadowed. And when we speak more, we speak with authenticity. We don't need to fill every silence with a word. Sometimes the strongest voices are those that don't speak at all. Instead, they show up with love, with compassion, with empathy. Imagine the power we would hold if we let our actions speak more than our words. Imagine the impact of choosing our moments of speech carefully and filling the rest with acts of kindness, compassion, and understanding. Our world doesn't need more noise, it needs more hearts that speak through their deeds. So let's talk less. Let's use our words when they truly matter. Let's speak more with our kindness, our actions, our patience, our presence. Let's become the voices that aren't loud, but are heard in the quiet moments, the unspoken acts, and the compassionate hearts. In the world we live in, where noise constantly surrounds us, silence can feel like an alien concept. We are bombarded by sounds, people speaking, cars honking, music playing, notifications ringing, and the constant hum of activity. We have become so accustomed to filling every moment with noise that we forget the power silence holds. In fact, silence is often viewed as uncomfortable, unsettling, even awkward. We have been taught that silence means something is wrong, that it is a space that needs to be filled, as though it is a void that must be corrected. But silence is not a void. Silence is a tool, an instrument of power that can be used to reflect, to heal, to listen, and to connect on a deeper level. The power of silence is often overlooked, and in our fast-pacing, hyper-connected world, it is essential to remember how valuable silence truly is. Silence gives us the opportunity to pause and reflect. How often do we truly allow ourselves to be still? In the rush of our daily lives, we seldom take the time to stop and consider our thoughts, our emotions, our intentions. We are always moving, always reacting, and often we are caught in a whirlwind of external stimuli. Silence allows us to step back from all of that, to give ourselves a moment to breathe, to think, to process. In this stillness, we can reflect on our actions and decisions, question our motives, and clarify our intentions. It's a space where we can go within, where we can reconnect with ourselves, and where we can find the clarity needed to move forward in life. When we take the time to sit in silence, we give ourselves permission to hear the things we often ignore. How many of us are guilty of running through life with our minds constantly preoccupied? We juggle responsibilities, thoughts, and worries, often without pausing to truly listen to what our bodies, hearts, and minds are trying to tell us. Silence offers us the space to tune in to the whispers within us, the deep knowing that resides in the quietest parts of our being. In the midst of silence, we hear our own inner voice, our intuition, guiding us toward what we need most. It is a reminder that we do not need to rely on external noise or validation to find our direction. We already have all the answers inside us, waiting to be heard. But silence also has the power to connect us to others in ways words cannot. In a world where we are constantly communicating, sometimes we forget the depth that a shared silence can carry. Have you ever been with someone, perhaps a friend, a partner, a loved one, where no words were exchanged, but the silence between you felt so rich, so meaningful? There's a bond that forms in those moments, an unspoken understanding that transcends language. Sometimes it is in these silent moments that we feel closest to others. Silence allows us to truly be present with one another without the need for words to validate or define the relationship. It is in the quiet spaces that we are free to just be together without expectations or performance, and in that simplicity, there is profound connection. Moreover, silence gives us the space to truly listen to others. We live in a society where communication is often one-sided. We are so focused on speaking and making ourselves heard that we forget the importance of listening. Listening is not just about hearing words. It is about paying attention to the nuances, to the emotions, to the unspoken messages that lie beneath the surface. When we listen in silence, we create an opportunity for others to be truly seen and heard. It shows that we value their words and their feelings. Listening is a gift, and silence is the canvas upon which we can offer it. In many ways, silence is an invitation to be present. It pulls us out of the distractions of our environment and places us in the here and now. When we talk less and listen more, we create space for the present moment to unfold. We stop rushing through life, constantly planning, multitasking, and thinking about the next thing on our to-do list. Silence slows us down and gives us the gift of mindfulness. It allows us to savor the present, to experience each moment with awareness and presence. It's a form of mental and emotional grounding that anchors us in the now, where we can fully engage with life as it is, without overthinking or overanalyzing. The power of silence also plays a significant role in the process of healing. When we are going through difficult times, whether it's grief, heartbreak, or a personal struggle, words can often feel insufficient. We may find ourselves at a loss for what to say, either to others or to ourselves. In these moments, silence becomes a form of healing. It is in the stillness that we can process our emotions, make sense of our pain, and begin to heal. Silence does not demand answers or resolutions. It simply holds space for us to sit with our pain, to feel it, and to slowly work through it. It is in the silence that our wounds can begin to mend and that we can find the strength to move forward. There is a certain peace that comes with silence. It is a peace that is hard to describe, yet easy to feel. In a world filled with constant stimulation, silence offers a reprieve, a chance to reset and recharge. It is in these moments of quiet that we can find the stillness of mind that brings us a sense of calm. The more we embrace silence, the more we invite peace into our lives. It's not about escaping the world or avoiding challenges. It's about creating a space where we can recharge, reflect, and center ourselves. When we are grounded in silence, we can approach life with a clearer mind, a calmer heart, and a more centered sense of self. Silence also plays a key role in the way we communicate with others. In a world where communication is often dominated by loud voices and fast-pacing conversations, we forget the power of a well-timed pause. Sometimes the most impactful communication happens not through a flurry of words, but through a moment of silence. A pause in a conversation can convey a sense of contemplation, understanding, or respect. It gives space for others to process what has been said and respond thoughtfully. In this way, silence becomes a tool for effective communication, a way to show respect for others' perspectives and create room for. In fact, silence can even be an act of strength. In moments of conflict or disagreement, we often feel the need to defend ourselves or argue our point, but there is strength in silence, in choosing not to engage in the noise of an argument. It takes courage to resist the urge to speak, to walk away from a situation where words might only escalate tension. Silence in these moments is a reminder that we do not need to justify ourselves or prove our worth through words. Our silence is a powerful statement of inner peace and self-assurance. In a world where words are often abundant and easy to come by, the value of actions cannot be overstated. Words, while powerful in their own right, can sometimes be empty or superficial if not backed by meaningful action. We live in a society where promises are frequently made, commitments are often spoken, and intentions are expressed in conversations. Yet, how many times do we find that the real change, the real impact comes not from what is said, but from what is done? Actions, after all, are the true reflection of our character and the strength of our intentions. They speak louder than any word can. When we say actions speak louder than words, it is not simply a cliche, it is a deep truth. Anyone can talk about kindness, integrity, or loyalty, but it is only through their actions that these qualities are truly demonstrated. A person can make 1,000 promises, but it is their actions that determine whether those promises hold any weight. In the same vein, actions have the power to convey our intentions, values, and desires far more clearly and effectively than words can. For instance, when someone acts in a way that is consistent with their values, it becomes evident that their actions are aligned with their beliefs. Words alone, however, are often subject to interpretation, and it is easy for them to be misunderstood, exaggerated, or even manipulated. One of the most significant ways actions triumph over words is in the realm of trust. Trust is built on consistent, reliable actions. A person may say that they are dependable, but it is only through their actions that this claim is validated. Trust is earned, not simply declared, and it is through demonstrating reliability, responsibility, and respect for others' time, feelings, and needs that we create an environment where trust can flourish. Actions can rebuild trust that has been broken, while words alone often fail to do so. A sincere apology backed by changed behavior speaks volumes compared to a mere expression of regret. People see through empty promises, and they can sense when words are used as a cover for inaction. In contrast, when actions align with words, they create a sense of authenticity that strengthens the bond between individuals and communities. Another key reason why actions matter more than words is because they have a lasting impact. Words may have a momentary effect. They can inspire, comfort, or provoke, but their power fades over time unless they are translated into action. A motivational speech can ignite passion and drive in a listener, but it is the actions that follow that will determine whether that inspiration leads to tangible change. Likewise, while kind words can offer temporary solace, it is the concrete actions we take to support others that create real, lasting difference. A small act of kindness, such as offering help when someone is struggling, speaks volumes more than 1,000 compliments. Actions are what leave a legacy. They are the steps we take to make our words meaningful and our intentions real. Moreover, actions provide clarity. Words can often be confusing and they can easily be misinterpreted or distorted. When it comes to conveying complex emotions or making commitments, words alone might fail to truly express what we mean, but actions, on the other hand, are clear, direct, and unambiguous. What we do provides concrete evidence of our priorities and beliefs. For example, someone who regularly volunteers their time or resources to a cause is showing their commitment far more convincingly than someone who merely talks about supporting that cause. Their actions provide clear evidence of what matters to them without the need for elaborate explanations. When we focus on actions, we create a world where intentions are clear and where people can see who we truly are, rather than just hearing. In relationships, whether personal or professional, actions also help to build strong and meaningful connections. In friendships, for example, it is not just the words of affirmation or the promises to be there that strengthen the bond. It is the consistent support, the sacrifices made, the effort put into spending time together, and the small yet significant actions that demonstrate care and commitment. These actions speak volumes about the depth of the relationship. In romantic relationships too, love is not just expressed through grand declarations or poetic words, but through consistent acts of kindness, respect, and understanding. Even in the workplace, action-based leadership is what inspires loyalty, fosters collaboration, and encourages productivity. Leaders who demonstrate their values through their actions gain the respect and trust of their teams in ways that words alone could never achieve. Furthermore, actions give us control. Words, once spoken, are out in the world, and they cannot be taken back or erased. Sometimes our words come out in the heat of the moment without full consideration, and they can have unintended consequences. But actions allow us to take responsibility for what we do, and they give us the chance to directly influence the outcome of any situation. When we act, we are in control of our behavior and can ensure that it aligns with our values and intent. By focusing on action, we take ownership of our lives and choices rather than relying on words to dictate our path. One area where actions truly outweigh words is in leadership. A leader's ability to inspire others is not rooted in the speeches they give or the promises they make. It is in the way they lead by example. When leaders consistently model the behaviors and attitudes they expect from others, they create a culture of accountability, respect, and collaboration. Their actions shape the environment they lead and set the tone for how others will behave. Leaders who only rely on words may have followers who are motivated by the words themselves, but true followers are motivated by the example their leader sets. Effective leadership requires more than persuasive rhetoric. It requires the courage to act, the consistency to follow through, and the integrity to lead by doing. The power of actions over words extends beyond our personal lives and into the broader world. Throughout history, the most profound social movements have been propelled not by words alone, but by the actions of those who were determined to bring about change. Movements for civil rights, gender equality, and social justice have all been fueled by individuals who took action, often in the face of significant adversity. These actions, whether through peaceful protests, acts of resistance, or standing up for the marginalized, have changed the course of history. While speeches and words may have inspired many, it was the courage to act that made those words come alive and brought about the transformation that followed. When we say actions over words, it is not a dismissal of the importance of communication. Words can inform, inspire, and connect us. But it is only through our actions that we truly demonstrate the depth of our commitment. In a world filled with noise and empty promises, actions become the most powerful tool we have for creating meaningful change. They are the true reflection of our intentions, our values, and our character. Through our actions, we show the world who we truly are and what we stand for. And in the end, it is through our actions, not our words, that we leave our legacy. Change often begins with a single individual, someone who dares to look at the world around them and believe that something can be different. We are often quick to point out what needs to change, to speak of the injustices or the problems in our society's relationships or workplaces. However, it is one thing to talk about change and quite another to be the change we wish to see. It's easy to sit on the sidelines, criticizing and waiting for others to take action, but true transformation begins when we look inward and recognize that change starts with us. The words we speak must be aligned with the actions we take, and only then can we expect to inspire meaningful and lasting change. To become the change we speak of, we must first be clear on what it is that we want to see. Change cannot happen in a vacuum. It must be grounded in a vision, a goal, or a set of values. Whether it's wanting to see more kindness in the world, a fairer society, or a more inclusive environment, the vision of change needs to be internalized. Once we have clarity on the changes we want to bring about, we must start living them every day. This is not just about talking about change in the abstract or wishing for a better world, but actively embodying the values we want to see. If we want kindness to spread, we must first be kind ourselves in every interaction. If we want respect and understanding, we must show respect and seek to understand others, even when it is challenging. Only by living according to these values can we be the example of the very change we seek. Being the change we speak of also means taking responsibility. It's easy to blame others for the problems we see, or to point fingers at institutions or systems that need to be fixed. However, to truly make a difference, we must recognize that change is not someone else's responsibility, it is ours. It begins with how we show up in our daily lives, how we interact with others, and how we make decisions. If we see something unjust or harmful, we cannot afford to remain passive or wait for someone else to fix it. We must take ownership of our role in creating the kind of world we want to live in. This could be as simple as standing up for someone who is being treated unfairly, volunteering our time to causes we care about, or making conscious choices in our own lives that reflect the change we want to see in society. When we take personal responsibility for the change we want, we stop waiting for others and begin the process of transformation from within. Additionally, becoming the change means acting with integrity. We cannot expect others to follow our example if our actions are not aligned with our words. To speak of change while acting in ways that contradict our message is to undermine the very values we claim to uphold. Integrity is the bridge between intention and reality, and it is what ensures that our actions have true impact. If we advocate for the environment, we must live in a way that reflects our concern for the planet, whether that's through reducing waste, conserving resources, or supporting sustainable practices. If we speak of equality and justice, we must actively fight against discrimination and inequality in all forms. Our behavior should be a reflection of the change we advocate for, and when we live with integrity, we inspire others to do the same. Another aspect of becoming the change we speak of is the ability to lead by example. Leadership is not just about holding a title or being in a position of power. It's about how we inspire and motivate others through our actions. We don't need to wait for a leadership role to begin leading. Leadership starts with how we live our lives, how we treat others, and how we approach challenges. When we live with purpose and stand by our values, we show others that it is possible to do the same. We can lead through simple acts of kindness, through our commitment to fairness, or through our dedication to excellence. When others see us walking the path we speak of, they are more likely to be inspired to walk it with us. Becoming the change we speak of also requires patience and resilience. Change does not happen overnight, and the road to transformation is often long and fraught with obstacles. There will be setbacks, and there will be times when the world seems resistant to the change we want to see. However, it is in these moments that our commitment to change is tested. It is easy to give up when progress is slow or when we face opposition, but true change comes when we stay the course, when we continue to embody our values and lead by example, even in the face of adversity. Our resilience becomes an inspiration to others, showing them that change is possible if we stay persistent and unwavering in our efforts. In the rush of everyday life, we often forget the impact our words have on those around us. Words have the power to heal, to inspire, to change lives, and yet they can also hurt, confuse, and create division. In a world where communication is constant and ever-present, it's easy to speak without thinking, to let words spill out without consideration of their effect. But intentional speech is about more than just choosing the right words. It's about speaking with purpose, clarity, and mindfulness. When we speak with intention, we take responsibility for our words. We recognize that what we say matters and that our words have the potential to shape the world around us. Every word we speak carries energy. It has the power to lift someone's spirit, to offer support, to motivate, or even to break someone down. Understanding this, we must ask ourselves, are our words intentional? Are we speaking to connect, to uplift, or to inform? Or are we speaking simply to fill space, to express our thoughts without truly considering their impact? Intentional speech begins with mindfulness. It's about being present in the moment and considering what needs to be said before we speak. Too often we speak impulsively, reacting to what is happening around us without taking the time to think through our words. This can lead to misunderstandings, hurt feelings, and unnecessary conflict. By practicing mindfulness, we give ourselves the space to pause, to reflect, and to choose the most appropriate words for the situation at hand. Mindfulness allows us to be conscious of our tone, our body language, and the underlying emotions in our communication. Intentional speech also involves clarity. Clarity is the bridge that connects our thoughts to others' understanding. We can have the most well-meaning intentions, but if our words are unclear or vague, our message can be lost. When we speak with intention, we strive for clarity in both what we say and how we say it. We avoid using jargon or overly complicated language that might confuse our listeners. Instead, we focus on simplicity and directness, ensuring that our words are easily understood and our message is conveyed in the clearest way possible. Clarity in communication ensures that there is no room for misinterpretation, and it helps to build trust between the speaker and the listener. Another important aspect of intentional speech is empathy. When we speak with empathy, we consider the emotions and perspectives of others. We put ourselves in their shoes and speak in a way that acknowledges their feelings and experiences. This is especially important in difficult conversations or moments of conflict where emotions can run high. Speaking with empathy allows us to approach these situations with sensitivity and respect. It helps us to choose words that de-escalate tension rather than add fuel to the fire. By being mindful of the emotional state of others, we can communicate in a way that promotes understanding and fosters positive outcomes. Furthermore, intentional speech requires us to be aware of our motives. Why are we speaking? Are we speaking to be heard, or are we speaking to serve a greater purpose? In many situations, people speak because they want to be validated, to assert their opinion, or to win an argument. But when we speak with intention, our goal is not to win the conversation, but to engage meaningfully. We speak not out of ego or the need to be right, but out of a desire to share, to connect, and to grow. Speaking with intention requires us to let go of the need for validation and to focus on the purpose of our communication. When our words are motivated by genuine care and understanding, they are more likely to create a lasting impact. It's also important to recognize that intentional speech is not just about what we say, it's about how we listen. Effective communication is a two-way street, and the most intentional speakers are also the best listeners. Listening with intention allows us to truly understand the perspectives of others, to hear their needs, and to respond thoughtfully. Without active listening, our words can become disconnected from the reality of the conversation. When we truly listen, we can tailor our responses to the person or situation at hand, ensuring that our words are relevant and meaningful. Intentional listening allows us to communicate more effectively, and it fosters an environment of mutual respect and understanding. Another key aspect of intentional speech is the courage to be honest, even when it's difficult. Speaking with intention often means speaking the truth, even if that truth is uncomfortable or unpopular. It takes bravery to speak up, to express our authentic thoughts and feelings, especially when doing so might bring about conflict or disagreement. But when we speak truthfully and with integrity, we build trust and strengthen relationships. People appreciate honesty even when it's hard to hear because it shows respect and transparency. Speaking the truth with intention is not about being harsh or blunt. It's about being authentic and kind, about delivering honesty in a way that is respectful and considerate of others' feelings. Intentional speech also requires us to be aware of our nonverbal communication. Our body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice all contribute to the message we are conveying. Sometimes our actions speak louder than our words. For instance, if we are speaking to someone but our body language shows disinterest or frustration, our words may not be received in the way we intend. Intentional speech involves aligning our verbal and non-verbal communication so that they work together to convey a clear and consistent message. By being aware of our body language and tone, we can ensure that our words are backed by genuine emotion and intention. Speaking with intention requires us to be mindful of the power of silence. In many conversations, we may feel the need to fill every moment with words, but silence can be just as powerful as speech. Sometimes, a pause in the conversation can give both the speaker and the listener time to reflect, to process, and to consider their words more carefully. Intentional speech knows when to speak and when to remain silent, understanding that sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is to listen and absorb the moment. In a world where people often speak without thinking, where conversations are rushed, and where communication is fragmented, intentional speech stands as a reminder that words matter. The way we speak, the words we choose, and the intentions behind our speech shape our relationships, influence our interactions, and impact our world. By speaking with purpose, clarity, empathy, and honesty, we can create a space for more meaningful and impactful conversations. When we speak intentionally, we give ourselves and others the opportunity to connect on a deeper level, to understand one another more fully, and to build a better, more compassionate world. In our fast-paced world, listening has become a rare art. We are often so busy thinking about what we want to say next, formulating our responses, or simply getting our point across, that we forget the true essence of communication. Listening is not just about hearing words. It's about truly absorbing what is being said, understanding the underlying emotions, and connecting with the speaker on a deeper level. When we listen more, we open ourselves to a world of connection, understanding, and empathy that goes far beyond what words can convey. To listen more means to actively engage with the speaker. It's not enough to simply hear the words coming out of someone's mouth. We must make a conscious effort to be present, to give our full attention to the person speaking. In a world filled with distractions, smartphones, notifications, and the endless noise of daily life, it can be easy to let our minds wander, to check out mentally while the other person is talking. But true listening requires focus and intention. When we are truly present in the moment, we create space for the other person to express themselves. Without interruption or judgment, it's about making the other person feel heard and valued. And it requires that we set aside our own thoughts and ego for a moment to fully understand theirs. Listening more also involves understanding that communication is not just about the words being spoken. So much of what we communicate is nonverbal. Our body language, our tone of voice, our facial expressions, and even our silence. Often it's these nonverbal cues that carry the most weight in a conversation. When we listen more, we begin to tune in to the full range of communication beyond just the spoken word. We notice the hesitation in someone's voice, the sadness in their eyes, or the shift in their posture. These subtle cues give us a deeper understanding of the emotions and thoughts behind the words. By paying attention to these nonverbal signals, we can respond with greater empathy and insight. Listening more also requires patience. In many conversations, we tend to rush to conclusions or jump in with solutions before fully understanding the problem. We want to fix things, to offer advice, or to share our own experiences. But often, what the other person truly needs is not a quick fix, but simply to be heard. By giving someone the space to talk without interruption, we allow them to express themselves fully, to process their emotions, and to feel validated. Listening without rushing to respond is an act of respect. It says to the other person, "I value what you have to say, and I am willing to give you the time and space to say it. This kind of patient listening can strengthen relationships and build trust because it shows that we care enough to truly understand the other person's perspective. Listening more also involves letting go of judgment. It's easy to listen with a critical ear, to form opinions or assumptions about what someone is saying, or to dismiss their feelings as irrational or unimportant. But when we listen with judgment, we create barriers to understanding. We stop being open to what the other person is truly trying to communicate, and instead, we impose our own views or biases on the conversation. To listen more means to listen without judgment, to approach the conversation with an open mind and a willingness to hear things that might challenge our own beliefs or experiences. This kind of non-judgmental listening fosters an environment of trust and acceptance where people feel safe to express themselves without fear of being criticized or misunderstood. Listening more also requires empathy. When we listen with empathy, we go beyond hearing the words and try to understand the emotions and experiences behind them. We try to put ourselves in the other person's shoes, to imagine what they are feeling and why they might feel that way. This requires a level of emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize and understand emotions in ourselves and others. When we listen with empathy, we communicate that we care not just about the words someone is saying, but about them as a person. We acknowledge their feelings, their struggles, and their perspectives, and we respond with compassion and understanding. Empathy is the bridge that connects us to others on a deeper, more meaningful level. Listening more can also help us become better problem solvers. When we listen carefully to someone's concerns or challenges, we gain a deeper understanding of the issue at hand. We may learn new information or discover insights that we might have missed if we were too focused on our own response. By truly listening, we are better equipped to offer solutions that are thoughtful and relevant